And we're live. Welcome everybody to this Friday night 8 to 10 focus talking about experiences. I'm Catherine from Mailles Lyon.
And I'm Fabio, also from Mailles Lyon, but we're not originally from Lyon. Where are you from originally, Catherine?
I'm from New Zealand, very, very far away from France. And you, Fabio?
Me, I'm from London, not so far away from France. And how long have you been in Lyon?
Ooh, I have been in Lyon for nearly 5 years now. That's crazy when I think about it like that. And what about you?
Me,
How long have you been here?
I have been here for 2 years, since
Yeah.
2018. So not as long as you, not as much time to build up Lyonnais experiences. So yeah, today we're talking about experiences, things that we have done in our lives. Do we have any students with us yet, Catherine?
I think we have 4 people watching, but who are they? We need you to introduce yourselves in the comments, please. We're looking forward to getting to know you today, learning about experiences, interesting things you have done in your lives. So don't be shy. How's your day been, Fabio, while we're waiting?
Today, my day it's been good, you know. What have I done today? I have eaten some pasta, I've played with my cat, I've done a little cleaning, and I've done a lot of work. And you, how's your day been?
My day hasn't been as productive as yours. I've done a little work. I've done some sports. I've done some relaxing in the sun on my balcony.
Very nice.
Very important stuff. We have our first comment, Fabio. Guess who it is?
It's Marie. Hi, Marie.
Marie works with us at Mailles Lyon. Welcome, Marie. Thanks for tuning in. But so far, the other viewers are a mystery. I wonder.
Well, I look forward to hearing about their experiences in due course. While we wait for them to introduce ourselves, shall we look at what we're going to study today? So we're talking about experiences, as I've said, and in this focus activity, specifically, Catherine?
Talking about life experiences, present perfect and past simple, and interviewing others.
So this is number one, quite an interesting subject to talk about. I think we have all had life experiences, unless you have lived under a rock for your whole life. And also quite an important one, because I think the present perfect and past simple, whilst every student knows how to form these, particularly at this level, it's something that people often make mistakes with using the wrong one in a particular context. So a really useful thing to study in a bit more detail.
Yeah, so let's see. I think our students are a bit shy today, Fabio. So maybe if we get started, they'll feel more confident to leave us some comments. So shall we see the first question?
Very nice. So question one, Catherine, what is the craziest thing that you have ever done?
This is a big question. I don't know if it's the craziest thing, but one of the craziest things I've ever done is I took an overnight bus from Tallinn, Estonia, into Russia.
Oh, wow. Cool.
It was about 3 years ago. I was with a friend. We were the only people on the bus who did not speak Russian. And we went through about 5 different border controls at 3 o'clock in the morning or something like that. When I look back, I can't believe I did that. I can't believe we survived. We made it into Russia. We didn't get kicked out and left on the side of the road. So I think that was pretty crazy.
Nice, that's cool. What's the craziest thing I've ever done? I've had a few strange long bus journeys and train journeys as well. Craziest thing. Once at a rock concert, I stage dived. That's an experience that I'm quite proud of. That was fun.
Now, people might not know that expression. Maybe you can describe stage dive for us?
So to stage dive is when imagine someone is standing on the stage at a rock concert and they jump into the crowd and everyone carries them on their backs.
And how was it? It sounds dangerous. Did you survive okay? No injuries?
Probably dangerous normally, but yeah, I'm a very light person, so so people caught me, thankfully. I'm very short and thin, so it's okay. Yeah, it was really fun, very exhilarating. That's one thing that springs to mind. I'm sure I've done a lot of other crazy things.
We've just got a whole lot of comments at once.
Cool.
Maybe YouTube's a bit slow. We've got lots of new viewers. So welcome to Maria Teresa, who says, hi, everyone.
Hi, Maria Teresa.
We also have Claudio.
Hi, Claudio.
And Jessica. So
hello,
we're very
Jessica.
happy to see you all. So we're talking about experiences today, things we have done in our lives. Don't hesitate to tell us in the comments the craziest thing you have ever done in your life.
I bet some of our students here have done some crazy things. I'd love to hear what they are. While we wait for those, let's look at this question. What jobs have you had, Catherine?
I haven't had many different jobs. I've had several different teaching jobs. So I've worked, now I work for Maes, obviously, but I've also worked for a university as an English teacher, with children on a summer camp in a school. And when I was a student, I had many different jobs in retail, so working in shops, but nothing very exciting, I don't think. Yeah. What about you, Fabio? What jobs have you had?
Very similar jobs to yours, in fact. So I have worked in retail also. I once worked in a CD shop back when CDs existed. I also worked briefly in a restaurant. I have worked in a lot of different language schools. So before coming to Lyon, I worked in Naples in the south of Italy for 3 years, and I spent 1 year in more or less Bergamo in the north of Italy. And I've done various summer school jobs like you have. Once I did a job for a month or two in a warehouse picking and packing. So imagine like an Amazon warehouse, for example, where there are all of the products and you must take them. This was before machines did this job. Take them and put them in a trolley. I have also done like cleaning-y, janitory type jobs. I've done a lot of strange things for money.
I think especially when people are teenagers, we're kind of unofficially working, we maybe have had many strange experience. One time, I must have been like 14. It was a job over the Christmas period for my mum's company. They got kids of employees to put together the Christmas hampers for staff.
Nice.
So when I think about it now, that's quite a strange arrangement, but it was great.
It's a good way to get free labor in, though, isn't it?
We got paid, probably not much, but
yeah. Nice, that's good. Before being a teacher, I also worked in the publishing industry for 6 or 7 years, in sales, marketing, and publicity.
Wow, part of the rat race, eh?
Absolutely. I worked in an office from 9 to 5.
Oh my God, did you wear a suit?
Let's not be silly. It was publishing. The closest anyone got to a suit was like a natty blazer with elbow patches.
Which you still wear, I think.
Yeah, that's my style. Publishing chic.
Okay, now what about the next questions, Fabio? How many of these things have you done? So to make a question, we could say, have you made a snowman, for example? Have you made a snowman?
Very good. Is there another word we could add to that? So if I want to say, have you in all of your life, have you
ever made a snowman?
Have you ever made a snowman? Yes, I have made a snowman. I've made a few snowmen. And you, have you ever made a snowman?
So I don't have any vivid memory, but I'm sure I must have made a snowman in my life. I have been in the snow. So I'm sure the first time I experienced the snow, surely I made a snowman. I can't remember
Nice.
though. Oh, we have
Does
a
it
great
snow a lot where you're from? Oh yeah.
I'll answer your question first. So in New Zealand, it does snow, but not in my city. I'm from Wellington, which is next to the sea. It's very windy. It's quite mild. So I never grew up with the snow. So it was when I was 7 or about 10 years ago, I was in France. I came to spend a few weeks in France. That was the first time I experienced snow. I was just thinking, we have our first comment here. Thank you, Maria Teresa.
Nice.
She says, the craziest thing I did was go on vacation without telling my mother.
Maria Teresa. Oh, how
Now,
old were you when you did this?
now there's a little problem with this sentence. We don't know when it happened. So if we're speaking in general in our life experience, Fabio, how would we rewrite the sentence in general?
So I'm not sure I would say the craziest thing I did, and we will look at the reasons a little more later, but I would probably use the present perfect here. So the craziest thing I have done, probably.
But don't worry, Maria Teresa. Later in the focus, we'll explain exactly why, and you will be an expert. Thank you very much for your comment.
Really good one.
But everybody else, we're very curious. We can see you watching. We want to know what crazy things you have done in your life. Another question, Fabio.
Have you, Catherine, ever written a book?
No, I've never written a book. I write a diary, but I don't know. I've never completed it, or I've never finished my oeuvre. So no, I haven't written a book, I think. Have you written a book, Fabio?
I like writing. It is one of my hobbies. So I have written a lot, but I have never completed a book. So I would say no, I haven't written a book, but I have written about 70% of 2 books.
Ooh, so maybe next year, this time next year, if we do the focus again, you will have a different answer to the question.
Hopefully, yeah. By this time next year, hopefully I will have written a book.
Ooh, making predictions. Great. We have another comment here from Jessica. Could you read it, please, Fabio?
Yes, absolutely. Nice topic, says Jessica. Thank you. The craziest thing I've ever done is a holiday in the USA alone. Wow, that's cool. Nice. Careful with an holiday. Remember, we pronounce the quite heavily in English, so a holiday. But fantastic example there. That's really good, and that sounds like loads of fun also.
Now, thank you, Jessica. We have another comment from Maria Teresa. Now, she says, ooh, I have not rode. You're right. It's an irregular verb. Ride, rode, ridden. So you're nearly there. I have ridden a horse and I have donated blood. And you're welcome for the correction. That's what we're here for. So we're very happy to help. Bravo.
Very good sentences there. Really good, Maria Teresa.
Have you ever donated blood, Fabio?
No, I'm ashamed to say I have not donated blood. I have never done that. And you, Catherine, have you ever donated blood?
Yes, I have.
Very good.
I've been donating blood since I was at university, I think. That's when I started. So, yes, I have donated blood maybe, I don't know, no, not 50 times. Maybe maybe 30 times.
Wow, that's really cool.
Not important. Okay, and let's have one more question. Have you ever taken a picture underwater, Fabio?
No. I don't think I have. I think I've never taken a picture underwater. And you, Catherine, have you ever taken a picture underwater?
Yes, I have. I'm having flashbacks now to family holidays when I was a kid. So I'm from New Zealand. We often went to the beach for holidays or in Australia. And I'm remembering before we had digital cameras, me and my brother and I, we had for our holiday, we had a special disposable camera, the ones we go, and we had a plastic case you could use to take these photos underwater. So
Nice.
I
High
have
tech.
taken high tech. Yeah. So thank you, everybody. We're getting there. We're starting to learn about you little by little. Let's see what's next, Fabio.
Yes, let's. So next, we are talking about the past, and in particular, we have a short autobiography here. So we would like you to match the column on the left to the column on the right to complete this autobiography. Could you give us an example, Catherine?
Sure.
First
Let's
one.
do number one. I've taken up. Now, that might be a new word for some people. A synonym for taken up or to take up could be perhaps to start, usually to start an activity. So I guess I've taken up a new hobby. That's what I think.
I like that. Fantastic. Yeah, I've taken up a new hobby. Very good. So while our students try to match these in the comments, try to complete these sentences, can you tell us about some hobbies that you have taken up, possibly recently during the lockdown or in the last few years? What hobbies have you taken up, Catherine?
I don't think I've taken up any new hobbies since the lockdown, but I have returned to some old hobbies that maybe I don't usually have time or I don't usually make the effort to do. I don't know if this is a hobby, but I'm trying to learn Spanish. So I started learning Spanish maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And now that I've got a bit more extra time, I've started making a regular effort to listen to videos in Spanish or to read a magazine in Spanish. I don't know if it's a hobby, it's an activity I enjoy.
I
So
think that's a hobby, definitely. How often are you practicing Spanish during the lockdown?
Well, I'm not speaking any Spanish. That's a shame because we all know that speaking is very important. But I'm reading every day.
Very nice.
For
Cool.
an hour or so in Spanish. And
If
what
only
about you?
if only you had a Spanish webinar like this that you could attend.
They probably exist. I need to look for mi escuela de español.
Yeah.
And you, Fabio, have you taken up any new hobbies recently, or since you've lived in France, maybe?
Good question. Well, I keep intending to start French lessons, but I'm always too busy with work and other commitments. Since the lockdown, I have started playing the guitar again, something which I have not done a lot in recent years, and I've started writing again, and I've also started playing video games again, which is a hobby that I have not partaken of in many years. No, I have taken up a new
hobby.
Ooh, partake in a hobby, partake of. I think both are acceptable. Would you say partake in?
I think so.
Interesting.
But I'm not sure if I would use the verb partake with a hobby.
It's quite old-fashioned, isn't it?
Fabio likes to use big words. It makes his ego swell.
Yeah, I like to sound more intelligent than I am, so I use very long words. Do not do this.
We have a great comment here from Jessica. Cool. I've started to play the ukulele.
Wow, cool.
For the quarantine. Great.
Fantastic. We can start a band.
Yeah. It's a shame we cannot see you and we cannot hear you. Oh, I've just seen a comment. Hold the phone. Maria Teresa says we can practice Spanish together.
Amazing. This is what you've been waiting for, Catherine.
Yes, please. Okay, sorry, I'm getting distracted.
Very nice.
We have some answers coming in already.
Very nice.
So for the next one, Jessica thinks, I've seen the Eiffel Tower.
Let's see
Maria
if
Teresa agrees.
let's see if they're correct. Yeah, good job, guys. I've seen the Eiffel Tower. Very nice. Have you seen the Eiffel Tower, Catherine?
I have. I have been to Paris several times. So
and have
wherever you are, you can see it.
Yeah. Have you been up the Eiffel Tower?
Yes, I have. But I haven't been to the very top. I've only been to the second level. I think there's 3 levels you can go to. Have you been up the Eiffel Tower?
Absolutely the same as you. In fact, I have been to the second level. That's where they have the big square walkway. But you have to wait extra time to go up to the very top, don't you? So I have not been to the very top.
You probably have to pay extra as well.
That's probably why I didn't do it. Yeah.
Okay, so we have some more. Maria Teresa is really the number one in terms of comments. Thank you so much. So she thinks the next one is, I've been to 6, careful with your spelling, continents. There's a little T at the end, 6 continents. What do you think, Fabio? Do you think that's the right answer?
That sounds good to me. Let's check. Very good. Yes, I've been to 6 continents. How many continents have you been to, Catherine?
Whoa. I think 3. Europe, North America. Now, that's another question. Is the Americas, is that 2?
Yeah.
Europe, North America, and I'm from Oceania. So some people think that's a continent. Some people think Australia is a continent and the islands are just floating in the ocean. But I've been to that part of the world. I've been to Asia, but only for airports when I'm traveling to and from New Zealand. I don't think that counts.
I always feel like airports don't count. Yeah. Where have I? So I've been to Europe, Africa, North America, South America, and Asia. I've never been to Oceania. Oceania? How would you pronounce it as a resident?
I would say Oceania.
I've never been to Oceania, and I've never been to Antarctica. So I've been to 5.
Not bad effort. Now I can see we still have 10 people watching, but we've only got 1 or 2 commenting. So don't be shy. We would love to learn as much about you all as we're learning about Maria Teresa and Jessica. Let's see what she thinks for the next one. Okay. Can you read this one, please, Fabio?
I have met a famous person. Sounds good to me. Shall we check?
Let's find out. Drum roll.
Yeah, good stuff. Very good. I have met a famous person. Fantastic work. Have you ever met a famous person, Catherine?
I've met a few famous people, actually. It's quite embarrassing. I've met several actors from Lord of the Rings.
Cool. Well, being a New Zealander, I suppose.
I've also met, now I don't know if anybody watching will know who this is, but I've met Brett from Flight of the Conchords. This is a New Zealand comedy music group. They did have a show on TV in America about 10 years ago that was quite popular. But yeah, I've only met famous people from New Zealand. Nobody world famous, I think. What about you?
I've met a couple of, I think, world famous ones. When I was working at CD Warehouse, a secondhand CD shop in Uxbridge, Greater London, one day I was alphabetizing the chart CDs, and I looked up, and this woman came in a suit with sunglasses, looking like a total celebrity. It was Angelina Jolie.
What?
In a second-hand CD shop in a suburb of London. Yeah, her friend bought 2 second-hand DVDs, and me and the other two, well, me and one of the other guys who worked there, we were like, oh my God, it's Angelina Jolie. And we got her to sign a piece of paper. She signed it to the boys.
You were super professional.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course. We were just like, hey, Angelina, how's it going? And she was just such a star. She was just like, hi, boys. And just like looking off, and didn't take her sunglasses off or anything. So we got her to sign this piece of paper to the boys at CD Warehouse. Love, Angelina. It was very cool. And then she left the shop, and our manager came down from upstairs and went, all right, guys, you look weird. What's happened? We said, Angelina Jolie just came in the shop. He said, did you get her to sign the Tomb Raider box set behind the counter?
Fail.
Missed opportunity. That could have got us a lot of money on eBay.
I've just remembered I've also met some All Blacks. So
cool.
Some of them are world famous, or they were. I want to go Dan Carter, Richie McCaw. I don't know if anybody watching is a rugby fan, but there you go. Ooh, Maria Teresa says, what?
Wow.
She has met Prince Harry, sometimes we call him, and Meghan, Sean Paul, and Justin Quiles, a reggaeton singer. Wow. Are you just very lucky, or are you do you know how to be in the right place at the right time to run into them?
Those are some really big names. You've done well, Maria Teresa.
Better than my Lord of the Rings actors and rugby players. Oh, we have a new person who's joined. Welcome, Marcelo. And
hello, Marcelo.
I have really seen the Eiffel Tower. We can see that in your photo, actually.
Oh, yeah, nice.
You went to the upper level. It was amazing. Wow. Thanks for joining us.
Very cool. Hi, Marcelo.
So let's quickly look through the rest of the answers here, maybe, and move on to the next slide. So what's the next one? Work. Maria Teresa thinks I've worked at 3 different companies.
That sounds good to me. Yeah, that's right. I worked at 3 different companies. Good job, Maria Teresa.
Next one. I've played the guitar for 5 years.
Very good.
And finally, I have always loved swimming in the ocean.
Very good.
I think Maria Teresa gets a round of applause for answering all of those questions correctly.
Very good job. I've always loved swimming in the ocean. Fantastic.
We have a new comment from Jessica here just before we move, Fabio. I've met George Clooney because he did a movie in my little town.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Wow. Another real, actually famous person.
Okay, let's so all of these I've met a famous person. I've what other examples did we have? I've played the guitar for 5 years. All of these are in what tense, Catherine?
The present perfect.
That's my favorite.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to learn a little more about the present perfect and one other tense. So let's see. Talking about experiences. Can you read the first question, Catherine?
What tense is used to talk about a finished action in the past?
So completely finished action, probably at a finished point in time at the past. Okay. That's an interesting question. Let's see if anyone knows the answer to that. And the second question, Catherine?
What tense is used to talk about an action that started in the past and is still happening, or an action that happened at an unspecified time in the past?
Maybe like I've played guitar for 5 years, or I've met George Clooney, huh?
Or like we said at the beginning, I've lived in Lyon for 5 years. I'm still here.
Nice, yeah. I've donated blood 20 times. It was more than 20, wasn't it?
I don't know. Yeah, 20 or 30, I think.
I'm trying to pick you up. Don't play it down.
Yeah, but I'm not finished. Next month, maybe I will go back again.
You still have blood to give.
I do.
That's a weird sentence. Okay, so I'm sure we're still waiting for the answers because of the delay, but shall we reveal what the answers are?
Yes.
What tense
Tell
is
us,
used to
Fabio.
talk about a finished action in the past? That would be the past simple. So, for example, this morning for breakfast, I ate poached eggs on muffins. Yesterday, I watched a film, for example. And to talk an action that started in the past and is still happening, like I have lived in Lyon for 2 years, or an action that happened at an unspecified time in the past, like I have met Angelina Jolie. What tense would that be, Catherine?
Must be our favorite present perfect.
It must be. And of course it is. Great job. Okay. So can you read this wonderful example of both tenses, please?
Sure. I've lived in Ireland for most of my life. I went to university in Spain for a year. I wanted to experience a different way of life.
Cool. So we've got a nice present perfect there. I've lived in Ireland for most of my life. Is your life finished or does it continue
I hope
now?
not. I think life is
Unless,
still continuing.
absolutely. But of course, I went to university in Spain for a year is a finished action in the past. I wanted to experience a different way of life. Again, that's a finished action in the past. Great. So let's look in a bit more detail. Present perfect versus past simple. Would you read for us, please, Catherine?
The present perfect is used to talk about experiences which don't have a specified time in the past.
For example, I've been to Shanghai before.
Do we know when?
We don't know.
Just in my life.
In my life, yeah, exactly. And also, can you, before we continue, could you help me out with this been here? I've been to Shanghai before. Why? What's the, if I wanted to say in the past tense, like last year, what would it be?
Went.
So the verb is go. So why don't I say I've gone to Shanghai before? What's the difference between been and gone as a past participle?
Do you want me to tell you, or do you think one of our students can tell us the answer?
I reckon one of our students will know. Let's give them a chance while we look at the next one. If any of you guys know the difference between I've been to Shanghai or I've gone to Shanghai, bonus points are plenty. Let's have a look at the next one. If it's time specific, we use the past simple. For example, Catherine.
I went to Shanghai last year.
Very nice. And we also use the present perfect for things that started in the past and are still true in the present. For example,
I've loved going to big cities my whole life.
Very nice, yeah.
I love it.
In the past. I still love it now. That makes a lot of sense. Fantastic. So 3 really good, clear examples here of the difference between the present perfect and the past simple.
Here we go. We have an answer to our question about been and gone. Can you read it for us, Fabio?
Fantastic. Very good, Maria Teresa. Been is used because you have returned, because you have come back. Absolutely, yeah. Very good. Careful with return back. You do not need the to. So the concept of back is included in return. So because you come back or because you return. Fantastic. If you use gone, you didn't come back. I could not have said it better myself. That is perfect.
Yeah, so if I say Fabio has gone to Shanghai, where is he now? He's in Shanghai.
Very good.
Great signal, Fabio, from the other side of the world.
Absolutely, yes. The internet is very good here in Shanghai. Okay, let's continue. So here are some examples for you guys, our students. We would like you to match the sentences to the correct tense and the reason why the tense is used. So 1, 2, 3, ABC. Can you write in the comments what you think is the correct combination? Catherine, could you read them for us, please?
Okay, number 1, she has been to Tokyo. Number 2, we studied architecture in Istanbul in 2016. And number 3, I have lived in Toronto my entire life.
Cool. And so these are matched to A, the present perfect, because this action is still happening. B, the past simple, because the action is time specific. And C, the present perfect, because the action happened at an unspecified time in the past.
So we need your help. We can't remember our English.
I'm lost. It's quite a difficult exercise, this. I'm confused.
Yeah. Friday night, we're all starting to turn our brains off to think about the weekend.
Absolutely. So she has been to Tokyo. Have you ever been to Tokyo or to Japan, Catherine?
No, I've never been to Asia. Remember, Fabio?
Yes.
It's
Have
the
you
airport.
stopped at Tokyo Airport on your way
Haven't.
to Europe? No.
I have not. Have you been to Japan?
Yes, I have. In fact, I have been to Tokyo. I went to Japan for only 1 week. It was a very short time to see a big country with lots of fascinating things to see, but it's a cool place. I really recommend it to anyone. I went only to Tokyo and Kyoto. They're both very beautiful in different ways.
Did you know that they are, what's the word? Anagrams?
Yeah, they're anagrams. Yeah, Tokyo, Kyoto.
The
There's my
same
sister.
letters can be rearranged to make the other word. Coincidence?
It would be strange if that was a coincidence, wouldn't it? I'm assuming it's not. I wonder what kyo and to mean. I'm assuming they both have meanings, and I don't know, like capital city and city capital or something. Because one is the old capital and one is the new capital as well, right?
Yes, I think so.
But unfortunately, we're revealing how much we don't know here. So let's move on to more comfortable territory.
I've never been there, so I have an excuse.
Yeah,
You
I don't
have, and you don't know.
No, it's true. It was the old capital, Kyoto. Okay, so number 1, she has been to Tokyo, and she should know the answer to my question, whoever she is. What do we think? So we think that is C. We think.
Unfortunately, we can't see C. I'm just going to hide the comment. So Maria, today's I think C.
Let's see. Yeah, good. So she has been to Tokyo at an unspecified time in the past. Very good. We studied architecture in Istanbul in 2016.
Is
We
it
think 2B,
B?
are simple, time
To
specific.
be or not to be?
Very good. Yeah, of course, it's time specific. What is the time reference there, Catherine?
In 2016.
Of course. Is 2016 finished?
I think it has finished a long time ago.
Yeah, absolutely. And finally, I have lived in Toronto my entire life.
Must be A.
It must be A. Very good. Yes. Fantastic work. Really good. Okay, so let's continue and look at some more examples to challenge our students. So, some tense practice. So tell us, please, which of these sentences should be present perfect? Which should be past simple? And can you tell us the correct form to complete the sentence?
Maybe we can do the first example for our students. So, Margaret, a new dish last week. So, last week, is that finished time or unfinished time, Fabio?
Well, I mean, it's not last week now, so I guess it must be finished time. I guess last week finished on Sunday.
Yeah, so it's finished time. Also, it's specified. We know when, last week. So we must use the past simple.
Right. So
Margaret.
So cook is a regular verb. So I guess it would be cooked. Let's see if we are right. Yeah,
Ooh,
good.
phew. Oh,
Good. Margaret cooked a new dish last week. What's a dish?
it's ooh. How do you describe a dish?
Like,
She prepared a recipe, perhaps.
mm,
She put together a plate of food. I
nice.
don't know
Can
how
you
to
think of
describe a dish.
maybe an example is a good way? Can you tell me some famous dishes? What are some famous dishes? Maybe from France, Italy, or Spain, for example.
A famous dish from France could be bœuf bourguignon.
Yeah, that's a good
Mm.
one. Maybe from Italy, it could be pasta carbonara or spaghetti alle vongole, or you wouldn't
A
like that one.
favorite.
Yeah. Or pizza margherita. A famous dish from Spain, Catherine?
Maybe paella.
That's a good
Mm.
one. Nice.
Now we just have a question from Maria Teresa who wanted us to check. Oh yes, sorry, we missed a great comment you left us earlier. So she wants to know, Fabio, if this comment is correct. So this was back when we were talking about experiences meeting famous people. Can you read it for us, please, and give some feedback?
Absolutely. I have met Harry, and Meghan because they were invited. Very good so far. Careful with this preposition. We are not invited at a wedding. We are invited. Yeah, invited to the wedding of one friend of Meghan in Rome. And they have
Mm.
booked many rooms in the hotel where I was working. Wow, that's really good. One or two small things I would change, but that's a fantastic sentence. So let's see. I have met Henry and Meghan because they were invited to the wedding of one friend of Meghan's in Rome. And so because we are talking about a specific time, so the time when they were invited to their friend's wedding, I would not say they have booked many rooms in the hotel. Because we're referring to a finished time, what would you say instead, Catherine?
I would say they booked
Mm,
for the wedding. Okay, we don't know exactly when it was, but it was in the past.
yeah,
For the moment, for the weekend of the wedding,
yeah, good.
they booked.
Good. They booked many rooms. They booked a lot of rooms in the hotel where I was working. And yeah, really great use of the past continuous there as well. To say that when they booked the rooms, she was working. So yeah, a nice short action interrupting a long action there. Great work, Maria Teresa.
Really good. Thank you. Sorry we missed that comment earlier, but good work keeping us paying attention. So we're very happy to help you with that. I put a little comment for you too to summarize the changes. So don't forget, everyone, we still need your help to answer these. Well, there's 5 questions left.
So
5
what goes in
questions,
this?
7 minutes. Okay, it's a race against the clock. Can we get through these 5 questions before time runs out?
Okay, so what goes in the space here? Tim, the new iPhone yet? What do you think, Catherine?
So yet is a very helpful word because it tells us immediately. So far, no. In the time leading to this moment, no. Maybe in the future, it could change. So I think in this case, yet is telling us unfinished time. So what tense do we need if it's unfinished time?
I think that would be our old friend, the present perfect,
Present perfect, yes. Here we go. So we've got a few comments. The correct answer is this one. Bravo, Marcelo. Tim
Very good.
hasn't bought. Be careful, Jessica. Buy, it's an irregular verb. So buy, bought, bought. You were very close, apart from that little error. So
Very good,
buy, bought,
yes.
bought. Good work. Okay. Number 3. Now, don't forget, Maria Teresa, we're talking about Lisa. So it's she. So make sure with your conjugation, I want you to try your comment again. Remember, we're talking about she to Hawaii. You're very close.
So again, because it's never, I guess this means in all of your life. So it would be our old friend, right? It would be the
Present
good old
perfect.
present perfect, wouldn't it?
Everywhere, this tense. We can't get away from it.
So, and remember, it's going to be one of two possible past participles for go as well. If it's never, I guess there is one which is the clear choice because it's not about an incomplete journey.
Yeah, so you got it. Good self-correction there, Maria Teresa.
Great.
She has never been.
Good.
Good.
Lisa has never been to Hawaii. Have you ever been to Hawaii, Catherine?
I have not.
Me neither.
I've been to some islands in the Pacific. I've been to New Caledonia and the Cook Islands.
Cool.
But I have not been to Hawaii. And I know you haven't because you said you
nice.
haven't been to Oceania.
Exactly. You listened. Very good. Bonus point.
I always listen. Okay. Okay. We've got
I don't.
3 questions.
Number 4.
4 minutes left. Last month,
Okay, let's do this.
So last month, a presentation in front of 500 people. Wow.
Last month. So if it's last month, is that finished time or unfinished time, Catherine?
It's finished.
Yeah, it's finished, isn't it? So
yes.
We'd want to use the past simple here, wouldn't we?
Simple. Yeah, you've got it, everybody.
Very
Marcelo
good.
says gave. Jessica says gave. Maria Teresa also says gave. I'm not going to show your comments because it's got a few answers on it, but very good. Where's my thumbs
Very
there?
nice.
Very good.
How about this then? They an 8 a.m. chemistry class, their first year of university. They would never do that now in their 3rd year. So again, we're talking about their first year of university. Is it their first year now, or has their first year finished?
I think their first year finished 2 years ago.
It would make sense. Good maths. Mathrin.
Mathrin. That's surprisingly not a nickname I have had before.
Fantastic. I live for my originality. Probably because it's too lame for anyone else to have thought of that. Possibly.
So everybody, finished time in the past simple. It's an irregular verb. Yes, we're getting some comments. You're right, Marcelo. They took.
Right, they took. Fantastic.
Yes. And Maria Teresa had it also. Very good.
Very good. Finally, Coldplay in concert. They are my favorite band.
So I guess here we're talking about in your whole life, in all the experiences you have had. This one. I almost spoiled the answer.
I nearly did that too. I was like, oh, how about you, Catherine? Good. Do we have any answers from the students?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
So
What do they think?
Maria Teresa thinks, have you ever seen? Marcelo agrees, have you ever seen?
Fantastic. Have you seen? Have you ever seen? Yeah, really good. Of course. Nice addition of ever, of course, which means in all of your life. Have you ever seen Coldplay in concert, Catherine?
I have not. Have you?
No, I have not. I could have done at a festival, but there was a band I liked more on another stage, so I have never seen them. Yeah. Who is your favorite artist that you have seen in concert?
Well, I don't know if he's my favorite. He's not my favorite artist anymore, but I have seen Sam Smith in concert. And at the time, he was my favorite. I got very obsessed with him.
Nice. How old were you when you saw Sam Smith in concert?
I must have been like 22. Yeah, it was the last year I was in New Zealand before I came to France. I was 22 years old.
Very good.
And on that note, that's all the time we have for today. So thank you very much. Special shout out to Maria Teresa, Jessica, and Marcelo for all of your lovely comments. You have made some great progress there with the past simple and the present perfect.
Thank you very much, guys. Really good
Very
work
proud.
today.
And yeah, don't forget to tune in to the other webinars. There'll be many more on this grammar point, I think, if you want more practice. So
absolutely.
Have a lovely weekend, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Catherine.
Thanks, Fabio.
I was looking up at you there.
Oh, you're down. Sorry.
Bye, guys. Bye. Have a lovely weekend.